All right, everybody, this is the baseball head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, welcome back to the baseball head. I hope you like this video and hit that subscribe button. As you know, if you don't know, I've been following for a while. I've been calling the Mets, the New York Mets, America's team. Well, it's funny, I should mention that, because here we go.
And a couple of New York Mets, America's team. Dwight Gooden and Jose Reyes.
Yes, on ESPN's game, I guess, on Friday, at the Madison Square Garden, the great Mike Breen, the legendary voice of the New York Knicks, doing the national broadcast, called the Mets America's team. Now, I've been saying that for months. I don't know if he said that in the past, but it's awful coincidental because he is a Mets fan. You didn't know. And I've talked a lot about I Am Is the More how important. And I've got a lot of inspiration, some of the good stuff, from his old show onto my show. So sort of the meanness. I mean, the funny stuff that I'm talking about here is there. So I if he's been listening, I'm honored. Believe me, it's a real honor to have a great voice of the NBA and one of my favorite all-time radio personalities on to hopefully listen to the show and watch the show on YouTube. Now, a couple of things, some other things to get into. I want to send a thank you to, again, Mr. Jones, 4384. Send me super thanks overnight. Whenever you send me super thanks, I acknowledge you, and I thank you in the videos, and a shout out in the videos. Did not post in the, I'll do it probably after this, in the community, but I thank you. Whenever you send me a super thanks, or you become a member of the channel, I've got a lot of members on the channel. Purpose of the membership, just so you know, is to get a computer. We're about a third of the way there. I need another 20 to 30 people to come in here and get a real good computer to really improve the quality of the videos and improve the quality of the sound for you. And that's the purpose of that. Very open about it. Also, a lot of people subbed today off the last two videos from Friday night and obviously for Saturday. It's still undersubbed. Let's just give you an example. I found different channels on how to do YouTube videos and what are good videos. So, for instance, if I were to do a video, which I did today, that's got 1,500 views, for it to be successful, according to different YouTube channels, you need to get, for 1,000 views, you need to get about 20 subscribers. That's considered a very successful video in terms of subscribers. For the previous video, I got about 13. It's better than it was. But again, like I said, and I'll have a back part of this video talking about, a 5-minute part of the video, talking about why I need it. And this channel is undersubbed. It needs more subscribers. Got a lot of people in today and from yesterday. And for those people that have come in, I really appreciate it. Believe me, it really means a lot. Because every time we get past a milestone, it's a boost monetarily for me. And it makes the channel better. It makes everything better here. So that's really the purpose. And this, to me, you know I love doing it, and you want to be entertained. A lot of this is about making money for your host, and that's why it's so important that I do this for myself and my family. So anyway, Pete Alonso. Let's talk about the polar bear. Pete is still out there. It seems that the Blue Jays are still showing interest. Now we'll see what happens next week. Again, like I said, I'm the only person that I know of that's talking about Fan Fest, and that's very interesting to keep in mind because the Mets really pushed him this week, and it all got out that they wanted an answer. He turned down the contract offer they gave him. Now, also there was a rumor today that the Angels offered him 2 years for $50 million. The money's not. I mean, the money in the years. Considering his pedigree, it's very telling. He's got a lot of bad advice, okay? I don't know who told him to turn down the contract they offered him last year or 2 years ago. I don't know who told him to fire his previous agent. I don't know why he hired Boris. Boris has made this worse. And this is a bigger disaster than the Michael Guerrero situation. It's turning out to be. Because now he's a first baseman. Michael was an outfielder, or is an outfielder. Let me read SI.com. I got a couple things in here, and I obviously there's a Vladimir Guerrero component to this too. Blue Jays still showing interest in Mets free agent Pete Alonso. As the Mets and Pete Alonso appear to move on, the Blue Jays remain a suitor for the first baseman. Okay? As the Pete Alonso saga continues, it's becoming increasingly likely that he will not return to the New York Mets. And that sucks. Because he's leaving quite the legacy here and more work to do. He could be the greatest home run hitter in the history of this club. And he's walking away from it. This is New York. This is not Toronto. And if you go to Toronto, you want to be around tyranny, Pete. That's not a good thing. The Slugger had rejected New York's counteroffer earlier this week, which was roughly in the $68 to $70 million range over 3 years with opt-outs. Since then, the Mets have effectively pivoted away from their beloved first baseman. Despite the seemingly ugly breakup with his original team, Alonso still has plenty of other suitors to choose from as his initial slow-moving market gains more momentum. Insiders the Munchkin Ken Rosenthal and Will Salmon of The Athletic reported on Thursday that 3 teams are interested in Alonso's services, one of them being the Toronto Blue Jays. On Saturday, John Heyman of the New York Post confirmed the Blue Jays still looking at Alonso along with fellow power-hitting free agent Anthony Santander and significant starters and relievers. The Blue Jays, who are major players in both of the Juan Soto and Roki Sasaki sweepstakes this offseason, perhaps looking at Alonso as a replacement for incumbent first baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Mets themselves have checked in on him and his availability. Now, I would mention, they said, and the rumor was that Guerrero wants to play third. He doesn't want to play first. Hello? Somebody wrote to me on here complaining that he's not a third baseman. Well, apparently Vladdy Jr. thinks he is. Now, speaking of which, and really speaking of next year, I don't want to really talk much about next year, but they did an article at SI on an insider. I mean, again, every big player of the Mets that are going to be out there, the Mets are going to be pursuers, you know. Again, Mets are logical pursuers for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. next offseason. According to Insider, the Mets' potential pursuit of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. could be Juan Soto's bidding war if he hits free agency next winter. Okay. With the chance of a Pete Alonso reunion now looking unlikely, we skipped that. We already read that. At the Toronto Blue Jays, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. failed to reach an extension by Guerrero's self-imposed deadline of February 17th. The four-time All-Star plans to play out the final year of his contract before hitting free agency. Much like Juan Soto this winter, Guerrero is expected to be the top prize in the market, and ironically, some of the same suitors could be competing for his services. On Thursday, New York Post columnist and MLB insider John Heyman reported that the Mets are considered one of the most logical suitors for Guerrero if he becomes available. If Guerrero does get the free agency, the Mets and some Soto also rans. Yeah. The Red Sox and Yankees, the Yankees also rans. I noticed that Nick Totoro still pissed off about Soto going to the Mets. He turned in like a rant. Roki Sasaki going to the Dodgers into a Mets rant. It was awesome. He's nuts. Most actors are nuts anyway, aren't they? Not long ago, Guerrero had insisted he would never play for the Yankees, but Heyman clarified that the slugger no longer holds any animosity toward the team, meaning the Mets' crosstown rival cannot be completely ruled out. Now, I know one thing. If the Mets set their sights on this kid, on Guerrero Jr., the Yankees aren't going to get him. I mean, really, to be honest with you, Soto is a better hitter than Guerrero Jr. He's an outfielder. He's a different kind of animal. He's just a different kind of hitter. You know, if you're a Met fan, and I know we've seen him when he was with the Nationals, and we've seen him hit bits and pieces. I've seen a lot of games with the Padres because, you know, MLB played a lot of games at night. He is so good, especially when he's with the Padres. And we watched him for a year with the Yankees. He is just so good. He really, if you haven't seen him, he's just awesome. And I always felt that he was going to be a Met. But anyway, on paper, Guerrero would add even more firepower to a Mets lineup already featuring 2 MVP candidates and Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto. He nearly teamed up with Soto once before on a stacked Dominican Republic roster for the 2023 World Baseball Classic, but withdrew from the tournament as a precaution after tweaking his knee in the spring training game. Barring any trades, 2024 breakout third baseman Mark Vientos is expected to shift over the first of the season due to the diminishing number of starting caliber free agents available at the position. That would set up a third base competition between Luis Angel Acuna, Ronnie Mauricio, and Brett Beatty, who claimed the opening day job last spring. Now, here's the thing. Ronnie Mauricio is hurt still. He's still rehabbing his knee. And Luis Angel Acuna, who I don't really view him as a third baseman, he's more of a second baseman, shortstop, outfielder. Can he play third? I don't even know. And Brett Beatty, there's some question about his bat speed. So there are things that are kind of wonky. And if the Mets are going to try to get to the World Series again, or make an attempt to get to the World Series, it is very difficult to have all these young players. I mean, it's really, see, what was different last year was that the Mets were doing like an evaluation year. This is not an evaluation year, so that's a little bit different than last year. Here's some other players that are going to be available next year. Other than Guerrero, that's a first baseman. Josh Naylor, Yandy Diaz, Paul Goldschmidt, Bryce Hoskins, and star Japanese slugger Munetaka Murakami. Now that guy can hit, and that guy's got tremendous power. And he's probably the greatest power hitter in Japan, bar none. The greatest, and the hut means the greatest power hitter ever, even greater than Sadaharu. He has the all-time record of most home runs in a season in Japan. He's a big-time slugger. This guy, he makes Godzilla, Matsui, look like a pea shooter, like a spray hitter. This guy's got tremendous power. So that's the one thing about this whole thing, and we forget about him. I forgot about him. Maybe the Mets take a shot at him. I know the Yankees would love to have him. Anytime we can take anything away from the Yankees now, oh, it's great. Let us see the Yankee fans burn. Well, again, I want to thank you for coming by. And again, just to give you sort of a preview for the back of this video, if you are a returning viewer, hit the subscribe button. It's very important to stay here. There's a lot of lost revenue for me when you don't stay. And if you're coming here multiple times, instead of searching for stuff and searching for my name, just subscribe to the channel. It's an easier way. Because there's always videos going up. I do 2-3 videos a day. I don't do too many live streams, but I do a lot of videos here. I post stuff, and I got memberships here. But more importantly, just subscribe. And if you're a new subscriber, new viewer, hit the subscribe button. Believe me, you'll get a lot out of this channel. There's a lot out of this little channel. Even though the setup can be a little rinky-dink with the phone. But everything else here is top-notch. Thank you for watching. Please watch to the end of this video. And of course, never forget, New York Mets are America's team. You don't believe me? Listen to Mike Breen.
And a couple of New York Mets, America's team. Dwight Gooden and Jose Reyes.
I need subscribers to come on here and watch. And I was going to the numbers, and it's rather interesting that so many people do not subscribe to this channel. And if you're watching this video, you're watching the end of this video, I talk about what I need you to do. There's so many people come in here, and I appreciate people watching, but I really need you to subscribe, because this is a channel that sort of needs to be a little bit, needs to be bigger, quite frankly. But I was going through the numbers, and this is rather interesting. I have an app on my phone, and it's called the YouTube Creators app. And it gives you an idea of where you are as a channel. And, you're able to track things and be able to figure out how many subscribers you get a month, how much money you bring in, and it's great. But I was going through the viewers, the audience, and I get thousands and thousands of people coming in here and watching the channel, and quite frankly, so many people don't subscribe. Let me just run down some numbers here. Well, love baseball, so you're going to like the numbers. Over the last 7 days, starting on January 13th, 2025, I have brought in 81 subscribers. Pretty good. But this channel has about 5,700, soon to be 5,800 subscribers. But we've had 6,700 people return. So there's about 1,000 people, I'm assuming, that hasn't subscribed. Please subscribe. And there have been new people coming in. About 1,700 people, close to 1,800 people, have come in that are new people. So over the last 7 days, this is just the last week, 8,500 people have come in, and your host has only gotten 81 subscribers. You have to subscribe. It's very meaningful to me. It brings in a lot more people in, and it's not just. I think that I don't know much about this. I'm starting to learn. You know, every day you learn more every day about YouTube. But the one thing I've noticed is that when you get a boost, and the next boost is 7,500, the money tends to go up. Now I'm trying to really do different things here, trying to get a computer, and I've been asking people to become members, and people have become members, but I need a little bit more from people watching. Over the last 28 days, I brought in 295 subscribers. The month's been very good. Now, the month of December is very strong. Returning people, you won't believe this. Over 16,000 people returning. And out of the 5,700, 11,000 have not subscribed. Please subscribe. New people. We've had about 12,000 people come in that are new. And out of the two numbers, that's 28,000 people have watched videos over the last 28 days. And the channel's only brought in 295 subscribers. Over the last 90 days, this is the last 3 months, we've had 24,000 people return. So we're talking about 19,000 people have not subscribed. So if you watch the videos, there's no reason not to subscribe, especially if you're returning. And 36,000 people are new over the last 90 days. Incredible numbers. That's basically an average of 12,000 people per month. That's new. That's new. And obviously the overall number is 60,000 people. 60,000 people have come in to watch this channel, and only 639 people have subscribed. There's no reason not to subscribe to this channel. I do daily videos. I'll do as many live streams as I would like, but I'm busy and I got a lot of responsibility, so it makes it difficult. But you need to subscribe. It'll really expand this channel, and this is the best Mets channel. And the reason being is very simple. Very simple. I'm way ahead of the curve when it starts talking about things. Your host was the first to discuss the Mets possibly putting Breen as a designated hitter. You're starting to see that. I'm also a person from 4 years ago that predicted the Mets were going to make a trade for Francisco Lindor. So I've been very much ahead of the game in terms of discussing what's going on with our favorite team, the Mets. And I talk about all the teams here for the most part. So it's not just a Mets channel, it's also a baseball channel. So I would hope and I would really pray that you subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me and my family. And it's a way to sort of expand more, help me get a computer, get the computer much faster than I've been trying to do it. We're getting there, but I need more help, and I need you to subscribe. So thank you, and I'll see you later.